nature of the
We're
commission.
hearing some of that judgment. It appears to be, it isn't finished yet, but it appears to be a partial win of this case. Fraser Brown is with us, a motor trade expert. We're keeping across exactly what Lord Reid is saying, but there's a lot of legalese in that, and I don't want to bore people, to be brutally honest. I want to make sure we get the clarity from it. Fraser, from what we've heard so far, what is your analysis of this judgment?
Well, I think it's exactly what a lot of people were expecting. The Court of Appeal's decision was a surprise to many people. The principle here is one of why is a car dealer in existence? And a car dealer is there, one, to get good customer outcomes, but two, to also make profit. They're a commercial organisation.
So just bring us right back to the start of this, Fraser, and just explain this. Maybe there are people just tuning into this thinking, hold on a second, I had a car finance deal a few years ago. What should they, just bring us right back to the start of this. What happened, why it's important, and what happens now?
Okay, so going back to 2007 with the introduction of an organisation called the Financial Services Authority, between 2007 and 2021, car dealers would sell cars to customers and introduce them to a third-party finance house that would then enable those customers to pay for those cars over a number of months. And what happened during that period of time is that the car dealers were able to set an interest rate, and that interest rate could be higher or lower. And the higher that interest rate was, the more commission the dealer would earn. That model was banned in 2021 when the Financial Conduct Authority decided that the discretionary commission arrangements were no longer allowed. And you'll find that almost all car dealers set a specific APR that they were selling finance at, which meant that they were very clear in terms of the rates that they were offering finance, and there was no discretion in that, and they were paid a fixed fee by the finance houses that they were introducing customers to, normally a percentage of the total amount that the customer borrowed. Then at that point in time, it was also the regulations were changed to make sure customers were told of the existence of commission. So they were told that commission exists. And then last year, when this Court of Appeal announcement happened, we were all quite shocked because in the financial industry, we're all regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. And at all times, the dealers, the finance houses, the banks, everybody involved with this has followed the Financial Conduct Authority's rules. Yeah. And the Financial Conduct Authority was overridden by this Court of Appeal decision. So it's been a bit of a shock for the industry. Since 2021, we have not only disclosed the existence of a commission, but since October last year, we've actually told customers exactly how much that commission is, so they know exactly not only that it exists, but how much it is.
So what does this partial victory mean today, and what does it mean for people watching and listening to this who might have had a car finance deal over the last few years?
So there's the whole range of things that it means, but the biggest thing that we need to be aware of as a result of the parts of the ruling that I heard is that the dealer doesn't hold a fiducious duty towards the consumer. So what the Court of Appeal said was that the number one overriding duty that the car dealer has is to the customer, and it has to act in the customer's best interests exclusively and not in their own interests. What the Supreme Court has said today very clearly states that it is obvious that a car dealer has an interest in selling a car. That's why they are there. That it is impossible for them to have exclusively the customer's interests at the centre of everything that they do, and that there's a balance there. And so this ruling that we've just heard means that any payouts that occur are going to be minimised, because potentially...
So the car industry is going to be breathing a sigh of relief here, but people who think they've been missold car finance deals are going to be annoyed by this.
Well, this is not put to bed all parts of this. This is one ruling from a number of different cases that are going through courts. So this is the first ruling and probably probably the most important ruling, which says that this duty by the car dealer to be exclusively operating in the customer's best interests is not, it doesn't exist. So it's a real positive for the industry. It doesn't mean that all compensation claims are now dead. It means that a significant portion of it.
But the huge number, the estimate of, we've heard estimates 90 billion, 44 billion, those figures have been bandied around. So the car industry will be breathing at least a sigh of relief in regard to that, surely.
It will be, so that the car industry is going to be quite happy about this. There is talk of still there may be 11 billion that needs to be paid out, but it's a very manageable amount of money. There are banks like like the Lloyds Bank, who have got a 1.2 billion set aside. They may not need all of that now, and ultimately, if the ruling had gone against us today, that would have been, in my opinion, and in the opinions of some of the consumer champions that are well known on television, it would not have been in the consumer's best interest, because we would have had a number of banks that exist within the car finance area withdrawing from the industry, because as far as they are concerned and as far as dealers are concerned, they have followed the guidance of the Financial Conduct Authority at every stage. And to then be paying out compensation for alleged errors, we would have to be holding the regulator to account on this at some point. Yeah.
Fraser, thank you so much for your analysis of that. We now have the full judgment on the UK Supreme Court partially overturning a ruling that secret commission payments made by finance companies to car dealers under hire purchase agreements are unlawful. We'll talk more about this and migration after the news. Stay with us.